Hashem. Oh, actually, Baruch Hashem, chapter 27, verse 20, V'atah Tetzaveh. So where's Moshe Rabbeinu's name? It says, and you shall command. Where's Moshe Rabbeinu? So some say that the reason why it says, and you shall command is because since Moshe Rabbeinu said in next week's parasha, Im ayin mecheni nami sifrecha, he says to God, delete me from your book if he threatens Hashem, if you're going to destroy the Jewish people, delete me from your book. So therefore, for that reason, Moshe's name was not mentioned in this parasha. But anyway, Rashi doesn't say that. That's just that's other commentaries. I wonder if the Baal HaTurim says that. Let me see. I know we're already on a tangent. We just got started, but I just want to see if the Baal HaTurim says that. Okay. Yeah. We're chapter 27, verse 20. Parashas Tetzaveh. Hold on, let's see here. This is the type of thing, this is the type of drasha that the Baal HaTurim would make. So let's see if he says it. He says it like this. Exactly right. The Baal HaTurim says like this. Okay, hey, Arik and Eyal, grab a chumash. Can you take me to National Twins Conference in August?
In August? How do you know about it?
I'd love to be there because it'd be my dream to go to a twins conference. We find all the Jewish twins. We just have to find 5 people and we make 1 million. We don't need all 10.
I don't think Jewish people.
They're there. We'll make them. We'll find them out. No, okay.
Saturday and Sunday.
We'll set up a tent.
For what?
To stay there for Shabbat. Okay, anyway. So like I said, I actually find this is in the Baal HaTurim. So even though we're right away on a tangent, but I'll read it. Okay. So Baal HaTurim writes as follows. Loiskir Moshe Bazat Seder. Moses is not mentioned in this Sidra, which I can't see. My eyesight is so bad. Actually, you know what? There are Rashi, a lot of Rashi translations. Here, you could use these. Yeah, but you could use these. Where do they go? They're right here. Okay. Oh, I have them over here. Okay, watch out. Right here. If you want to follow along, you could also use the English. Here's the English Rashi. If anybody wants to follow this along, don't use the Talmud, but these are English Rashi. Okay, okay. Arik, sit down, buddy. Okay, so I'm just reading before we get to the Rashi. I'm reading the Baal HaTurim. Wait. Is that the Chumash? Did you take? No, you took a Talmud. Put that back. Yeah, put that back. We're not studying that now. We're not studying that book. Well, later you could study with me. You got it?
Okay.
No, we have extras for you. Everybody has their own book. Okay, this is too confusing. I'm sorry. Give me all the Talmuds. Where all the Talmuds are, come here. Give me this Talmud, Mayor. Now, this is a Chumash. I don't know. Everybody's confusing me today. It's my fault. I'm the one who's not clear. Okay. Thank you. Now we're all good. Okay. So we're mentioning that this week's parasha is Parashas Tetzaveh, and Tetzaveh begins, and you shall command. So even though we're studying Rashi, I said right away, I just want to quote this Baal HaTurim that this is the Moshe is not mentioned in this portion, but this doesn't occur anywhere else in the Chumash. From the time Moses was born until he dies, there's no portion where he's not mentioned. And the reason is because in next week's portion, Moshe says, erase me from your book if you will destroy the Jewish people. And even though God listened to him and didn't destroy the Jewish people, the Baal HaTurim's language is a curse of a chacham, even on a condition will always be fulfilled. And so therefore he fulfilled it by not mentioning Moshe's name in this book. Yeah, because since he said it, it takes place. But just before we take your question, Eyal, Arik, Eyal, just before what? Just before we take your hold on. Just before we take your question, I just want to read this footnote here. The Baal HaTurim uses the term chumash. Anyway, there are other sidros in which Moshe's name is not mentioned. Ekev re'ei shoftim kiseitei nitzavim. So it's maybe he's referring to those portions in which God is the speaker, where God usually says God spoke to Moshe. But anyway, Moshe's name is not mentioned in other portions, but this is a famous, I would say famous, it's an often quoted teaching. Okay, Arik, yes. That's next week's portion. God was, because after the sin of the golden calf, Hashem was going to wipe out all of the Jewish people. We doesn't say it was through a plague, through whatever. God could do whatever way he wanted. Like a plague, just kill them. Yeah, but Moshe prayed to Hashem. Yeah, he was going to do that because of the sin of the golden. Everyone was threatening. That God was threatening. And Moshe stood up for them and it didn't happen.
And then we are here today.
Yeah, we're still here because of Moshe Rabbeinu. Exactly right. So let's thank Moshe for appealing to God. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Now we continue. But just before we continue, Aiden, do you know the date of your championship? The state championship? Yeah, because I need to be there unless it's on a Shabbos Kodesh. Then I won't be there. But if it's not on Shabbos, I'll be there to cheer you on. Because I'm so proud of Aiden for putting so much effort in. And he's now the Montgomery County champion for wrestling. And if he becomes the state champion, we have to all go to cheer him on. Yeah. Okay. So Rashi Tetzaveh b'nei Yisrael. Now you shall command the children of Israel, and you shall take for yourselves shemen zayazach, pure olive oil, kasis, crushed, la ma'or, for illumination, la alot ner tamid. So this is the commandment to take pure olive oil for the menorah. So let's look at the Rashi here. This is a beautiful commandment, the pure olive oil. Do you think you could just go into Costco and buy? No, that's the perfect book. Yeah, because that has a translation. Chapter 27, verse 20. That's the book, Aiden. Very good. Proud of you. So you think you just go into Costco and to get the extra virgin olive oil and use it for the menorah? What? Why not? It's real. It's olive oil.
Absolutely. It's a great deal.
Okay, first of all, Seth speaks, and he says it's a great deal to get the Costco extra virgin olive oil. But no, you cannot. Because even though that's extra virgin, we'll see what Rashi says here. We'll see why. Belishamarim, you have to take pure without any sediments. Okay, that Costco oil doesn't have any sediments. And he leaves it to ripen at the top of the olive tree. Kasis, the olives are crushed. He would crush the olives in a mortar, and he would not grind them in a mill. Anybody here ever see olives being pressed? Mm-hmm. Maybe you saw that in Shiloh. You ever see that there? Yeah, them pressing the olives. What?
Seen in Israel one time I went.
Yeah.
Like with the big wheel, or when they step.
Well, that's where they used to do it, but the way, right? So he wouldn't grind them in a mill. So usually you grind the olives, right? But after he extracts the first drop of oil, he puts the olives into a mill and grinds them. So, and the second oil is unfit for use in the menorah, but it is fit for the meal offerings. So the first drop that would come out before he even grinds them, that's what was used for the menorah. And that
You will not find in that extra virgin oil in Costco. They're doing the second. They're doing the cold press, the second press, the first press, the first grinding, but not the first drop that comes out. That was what the menorah. The first drop that we have, the first drop of oil, the purest is for the menorah, because everything comes from the menorah. What's the menorah? The menorah is our inspiration. That's our light that inspires us and gives us strength. The menorah is the light, and that requires total inspiration. So that's the teaching here, and we're going to actually get to this here. I'll read the footnote here, a beautiful footnote. It is not enough, this is in the Art Scroll Rashi, it is not enough, which you have also there, Aiden, it is not enough that the oil not have sediments at the time it's used in menorah. It must be oil which never had sediments. The Mishnah in Menachos explains that the olive tree is harvested 3 times a year. The first harvest is for the earliest ripening olives at the top of the tree. The second is for the olives on the middle branch, which ripen later. And finally, the third harvest is for the fruit of the lowest branches that never receive the full sunlight and so do not ripen until after they've been harvested and left to stand packed tightly together in a vessel. Oil is extracted from the olives of each harvest through 3 consecutive methods. First, they're crushed in a mortar, then they are pressed with a beam, and finally they are ground with millstones. The Mishnah that Rashi refers to says that only the oil extracted from each of these 3 harvests by crushing the olives in a mortar, meaning to say before you press it, you just crush them in a mortar, you go like this. That oil, which is very, very little, that's what was used for the menorah. And that's why it was so hard on Hanukkah to get this pure olive oil, because they had olive oil, but they didn't have that first one. Obviously, you take a whole harvest and you're just taking that little drop. It's very little. So that was the key. That was the key.
Is it really a drop, or is it?
It's very small amount. It's very small amount that would come out. I mean, you could ask AI, how much olive oil would you get from an olive if you just did it with a mortar? It would be very, very small. Okay, now we have one of my favorite Rashis. And you have to light the oil. You have to light the menorah. Yeah, Meir, you had a question? Yeah. So listen to this Rashi. It says, La'alot ner tamid. Madlik, you light the menorah ad shetehei shalhevet oleh me'aleha, until the flame would rise on its own. So it doesn't say lahadlik. It doesn't say to light. It says lahalot, to lift up. Yeah. So the point is, you have to light it until it could go up on its own. The message here is, what's the menorah? The menorah is Torah. The menorah is putting forth Torah, the light. So you can't teach somebody the whole Torah. You have to teach, or let's say you have a father studying with his children here. He can't be with his children every single second for the rest of their life. You have to light the flame in them until the flame goes up on its own, until they can do it on their own, until they can understand what to do in every situation. Do you understand that, Eric?
Yeah.
These guys are driving me insane. These boys are driving me insane, Eden. Okay, Tamid, what does it mean that you light the candle at all? What do you mean that you light the candle, Tamid? What is always? What does always mean?
Always, always, every day, every second, every minute.
So that's what you're saying. That you're saying always means that, like we have upstairs. Wait, 1 second. Eyal, 1 second. We have the menorah, we have the eternal flame upstairs. So you're saying it needs to be on all the time. But Rashi tells us not like you said. Rashi says, it means you just have to light it every night. Doesn't mean it has to always be lit according to Rashi. It means every single night. Because according to Rashi, the menorah did not burn during the day. Just like it says you bring a carbon tamid. Tamid is a daily offering. It doesn't mean you brought it all the time. It means you brought it every morning. The carbon tamid. It means you brought it every day. And also, so the tamid only means, according to Rashi, In this case, it just means that you light it every single night. You light it every single night. Now, were there windows? Were there windows in the sanctuary? Were there windows?
It's in Zvach.
It was closed. It was closed then because if there was wind, then the fire would be blown out. So
Jonathan, you said there are windows and they're in Zvachim. What are you referring to?
Yeah, it's in, I believe it was in Zvach. There was a window in the back behind, like the back wall.
Okay. So
The western side.
in the Beit HaMikdash, in the temple,
Oh,
there were windows,
really,
and the Gemara tells us, in addition to the case in Zvachim, which was into the back of the Holy of Holies, but in the sanctuary itself, there were windows, but they said the windows were the opposite of what they normally are. Normally, the windows are, when you have a window in a room, in a building, the windows are wide and it gets narrower, so all the light comes from the outside and goes into the room. But you understand the imagery?
you mean in Shlomo's, the way they cut the windows through the walls?
Yeah, so it would be wider from the outside and go narrow. But in the Beis HaMikdash was the opposite, because the menorah's light from the menorah went out to the world. So it was wide on the inside and again narrowed when it went to pouring forth. So the light went from the menorah to the outside. But in the Mishkan, somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no mention of windows in the Mishkan. So there were no windows in the Mishkan. No windows in the Mishkan. I mean, you can fact check me on AI. Fact check me. What?
You're right.
Somebody fact check me. Always fact check me. I don't believe there were any windows in the Mishkan because there's no windows there. It was a tent. So there was some light coming from the opening, like the curtain to walk in, but there were no windows in the Mishkan. Okay, fine. Okay, Aiden, it's your turn to read.
I think I'm in the wrong place.
That's such a sad statement. Okay, chapter 27, verse 21. Aiden. You know what happened?
20 is right here.
Oh yeah, you're in the right place.
Oh.
Right there, Aiden. Hold on.
Oh.
Right there. Be'ol Moed.
באוהל המועד מחוץ לפרוכת אשר על העדות יורח אותו הרן ובניו מערב עד בוקר לפני אדוני חוקת עולם לדורתם מאת בני ישראל.
Excellent, Aiden. Excellent. You're a champion on the mat and in the base medrash. Beautiful. So it says in the Oel Moed, michutz laparochas, from outside of the parochas. What's the parochas? So there's a big tent, not that big, maybe like the size of this room, and there was a curtain divided the Holy of Holies from the main sanctuary. And so beyond that curtain, meaning not in the Holy of Holies, but in the main sanctuary, michutz laparochet asher al ha'edut. What's the parochet dividing? The edut, the testimony. What's the edut? What's another name for the edut? That's the Aron Kodesh, because they contain the luchot ha'edut, the tablets of testimony. Ya'arochoto, Aaron uvanav. So Aaron and his sons shall every day arrange the candles of the menorah. How many flames are in the menorah? How many?
Six.
That's
Seven.
6 and then the shamash.
Just 7, no shamash. Just 7. Not 6, 7, just 7. 7. No shamash. That's why one of the reasons why our Chanukiah has 8 and a shamash is because we're doing the Rashi now, and we're going to study the daf. at around 6 o'clock. Daf will be around 6 o'clock today. So is because we don't make our Chanukiah. You're not allowed to make any candelabrum with 7 branch, according to some opinions. Anything at all, even if it doesn't have the other dimensions of the menorah. So therefore, we make an 8 branched or a 6 branch, but we don't make a 7. So Aaron and his son should arrange it from evening until morning. What does it mean, me'erev ad boker? So the candle, so the oil has to last. Hello, Ezra. The oil has to last from evening until morning. How much oil do you have to put in? So Rashi says you have to give enough that the oil should burn from evening until morning. And the rabbis estimated that
Is it a kazai?
you go by the time where it was the longest night, which is obviously in the winter. So the sages said that would be a half a log for each night for the long winter. And then if there's, on the other nights, if there's left over, you have it. Now, you want to know how much a half a log is? Well, now we have the measuring tools. I'll bring that in tomorrow where you can measure. Because biblical proportions, we have the measuring cup, and inside on the table there, we have the shot glasses that are a kezayit, an olive size, and a kibetza. So we have the different measurements there. So and this is a law for all generations from the children of Israel. Okay, beautiful. No, right. You read the next pasuk. No, right. What? What'd you say?
Which okay.
Okay, no, right. You read it. You want me to read it, no, right?
Which person?
Chapter 28, verse 1. I can read it if you would rather.
If you insist.
No, you got it, no, right? You got it. Vata, beautiful. Akrei ve'lecha. Excellent. So now we're going to get into the garments of the Kohen Gadol. Now you should bring close to yourself Aaron and your brothers and his sons with him from amongst the children of Israel to serve me. Aaron, Nadav, and Avihu, Elazar, Tamar, the children of Aaron. And we're going to get into the power of garments. This is something, I'm become obsessed with lately. The power of garments putting you into the right frame of mind to be able to serve Hashem. And this is why I mentioned this morning. This is why last night I ordered a special camouflage strimal and bekisha. This will be the only one in the world. So that when I go up to the army bases, they'll see that I value them, that I'm taking my most sacred garments, the garments that I reserve for sacred use, and I made it to match their uniform. Can you imagine how geschmack it's going to be? If anybody else wants one, I could tell you, I could order it for you. I mean, they're not cheap though. So you might want to wait till you're my age to order it. Yes, Arik.
Okay, so did the tablets, did they light up when they wore?
The Choshe Mishpat, the breastplate.
Did it light
So
up?
that there's a big question. We'll discuss that, God willing, tomorrow. Some say that the Urim V'Tumim, when they wore this, that when they asked questions from it, they lit up. It's not clear. It's never specified in the Torah how that worked.
Where is it now?
Where are they now?
Uh-huh.
We don't know. We don't know where they are. We don't know where they are. That's a big question. It's a big question. It's a great question. You're filled with great questions. Let us daven mincha at this time. These are some amazing questions. Not surprised that you're filled with great questions.